You know, one Sunday at church, the preacher did a little skit where he put two chairs up on the pulpit and took a person out of the congregation to sit up there. You really didn't know what he was going to do, but the theme was talking about back in the day. In the country, people have front porches. People actually sat on the front porch and gossiped. You know, you found out all your latest happenings on the front porch. Now, in today's time, you're lucky if you sit on the front porch because everybody got decks on the back of their houses. Now, if you see somebody sitting on the front porch, now you know they wrong. Why are they on the front porch? Why don't they take that stuff to the back of the house? Don't want nobody on the front porch. But the preacher was saying that was your best time, sitting on the front porch, talking and gossiping and finding out stuff. One of those places in Lawrenceville was Big Daddy's front porch, in the old house, not the new one. But that's why I still like going sitting out on the front porch at Big Daddy's now. But we used to sit out on that front porch, Daddy and Big Daddy and Mama, especially when Aunt Jean and Aunt Harriet and everybody came down. They would sit, and that's when you catch up on the news, And us little kids would be standing around because we wanted to hear what was going on. And they would say, get out of grown people's business. Get out of grown people's conversation. You go on now. You dare not say anything. You just wanted to stand around and listen. And then when Miss Bertha across the street, she hung out on the front porch all the time, and they'd be yelling across the street at each other. Miss Obie always sat on the front porch, and she was always talking, her and Big Daddy or Nina talking to each other from their front porches. Now, what was the name of that lady that stayed beside Big Daddy? Miss Louise? Was that Miss Louise or Miss Obie? Miss Obie was on the house right beside Big Daddy's. When you drive up between the driveway, Miss Louise Manson. She used to substitute teach at school. Miss Louise and Mr. Chauncey. I didn't know her husband, but she used to substitute. I knew her as Miss Manson. She used to substitute teach at school, and when I used to go over Big Daddy's house, she used to be sitting on the front porch. She always sat on that front porch, always on that front porch, and you knew directly across from her was Miss Simmons. Miss Simmons was somebody Mama knew because she used to substitute teach at the school too. I think she did, but Miss Simmons died early, and that's when the Broadnacks, when she died, the Broadnacks moved in. It's funny, everybody sat on the front porch, and Miss Lucy May, they had a little side porch. They had a little screened-in porch, so they were kind of up in the world. Right. Because they had a little screened-in porch, Miss Lucy May and Maurice Spraggins. All along Route 46, you could walk down from our house to the little store, and everybody be on the front porch. Willa Dilworth, he stayed on the front porch. They lived on the front porch. Look, if Willa Dilworth and Ethel weren't on the front porch, you knew something was wrong with the world. Those people were on the front porch, even in the wintertime, 10 feet of snow outside. They sitting on the front porch, always on the front porch, because they scared they were going to miss something. But you know what? Folks who sat on the front porch knew what was going on in the neighborhood. They could tell you who walked by, when they walked by, who they were with, so forth. It's so funny because my Lissa's grandmother, her aunt, lived right beside a bank, and said this guy came and robbed the bank and walked right past her. She's sitting on the front porch. So he robbed the bank and just walked right past her on the front porch. So the cops came and say, did you see anything? She says, I ain't seen nothing. Says the man just walked right past her. She was sitting on the front porch. Cops say again, did you see anything? She said she looked at the cops and said, I ain't seen nothing. So you knew when to say you saw something, and you knew when not to say anything. Well, they were the neighborhood watch anyway, so they didn't care about the bank, but they would talk to your mama or your daddy if you were doing something wrong. And I'll tell you another one who sat on the front porch. And that was Indy Manson. Oh my goodness, that woman was on the front porch when I first started dating. That woman stayed on the front porch until she died. We would drive up in Bernie's yard. Hi, how y'all doing over there? Nothing went down on Miss Indy. Nothing she didn't know about. Boy. The only time she got off that front porch was when she went to church on Sunday morning. She'd go to church, but believe me, when church was over, she'll go in and come right back. She'd eat, change her clothes, and go right back out there. But on Sunday, she didn't change her clothes. You know, on Sunday, you kept on your Sunday clothes and sit on the front porch. Aunt Lucy and Uncle Sam were always on the front porch, and I tell you somebody else that I never, ever saw them off the front porch, and that was Algie Bell and Miss Virginia. That's the only time when he went off the front porch was when they buried him. 'Cause she died first, and then he died, and that's the only time. When I drove in from Rhode Island, they'd be the first people I see in Lawrenceville. Hey, Mr. Bell. Hi, Miss Virginia. They were still on the front porch. You're coming down, driving down Route 46, your hand was like this, slowly waving back and forth. You never take it down till you reach home.